Welcome back to World Numismatic Finds, where today we dive into the top 6 rare UK coins that everyday collectors are hunting down with surprising urgency. From a 1964 sixpence in circulating condition to a 1994 one penny bearing the chain portrait and marked with age, right through to a 1982 20p piece coated in deep rust, each coin carries a story, and potentially a payout. We'll also look at a crisp 5p in very fine condition, a 10p with an eye-catching double-shaded appearance, and a well-worn 2p covered in scratches. These humble pocket change relics may look ordinary, but for sharp-eyed UK collectors, they could be far more valuable than you think. And today, you'll see exactly why they're attracting such greedy interest across the country. Let's get started up with the story of the 1964 UK sixpence is one that continues to fascinate coin collectors across the world, especially those who appreciate pre-decimal British currency and the final years of traditional coinage before the Great Changeover. When you hold a circulated 1964 sixpence in your hand, you're holding the closing chapter of an era shaped by Queen Elizabeth II's early reign and a country transitioning into a modern monetary system. In today's video, we take a deep dive into the world of this humble yet historically rich coin, exploring its origins, its design, its cultural importance, its value in today's collector market, and why this little silver-colored piece still attracts impressive demand among enthusiasts. To understand the true significance of the 1964 sixpence, it's important to look back at the time in which it was produced. This coin belongs to the final stretch of pre-decimal Britain, a system that had been in place for centuries. The sixpence itself had been a beloved denomination since the Tudor period, with countless traditions tied to it, including luck, marriage customs, and long-standing superstitions. By 1964, the Royal Mint was issuing some of the last sixpences ever minted before the move towards decimalization began to reshape the country's currency landscape. This gives the 1964 issue a sense of nostalgia and charm, as it represents both stability and the beginning of change under Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait graces the obverse of the coin. When examining the coin closely, the detail in both the head and tail design stands out despite the piece being found today mostly in circulated condition. On the obverse, we see the first portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick, which shows the young monarch crowned with a wreath rather than the familiar tiara used in later effigies. This portrait became iconic, symbolizing the fresh dawn of a new reign after the long and storied rule of King George VI. On the reverse, the 1964 sixpence displays an elegant botanical design featuring the national flowers of England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland combined in a unified emblem. This beautiful arrangement captures the spirit of the United Kingdom in a way that is both artistic and symbolic, reflecting the unity of the nation within a small circular piece of metal. Beyond its design, the sixpence carries deep cultural roots that add to its appeal. For generations, these coins were given as tokens of good fortune, slipped into wedding shoes, kept as lucky charms, or passed down through families as sentimental keepsakes. By the 1960s, many households still associated the sixpence with special sayings and traditions, making it far more than just a monetary unit. Because the 1964 issue falls within this sentimental period, collectors today often seek these coins not only for their numismatic relevance but also for the emotional history they represent. This continuing cultural value significantly boosts the desirability of even circulated examples. In terms of physical specifications, the 1964 sixpence retains the classic cupronickel composition that defined most mid-20th century British coinage. The weight comes in at approximately 2.83 grams, giving it a light yet solid feel between the fingers. These technical details might seem small, but for collectors they matter, as they reflect the authenticity and heritage of the coin's original production standards. The size, weight, edge, and metallic sheen all contribute to the sense of handling a genuine pre-decimal artifact. What makes the 1964 sixpence particularly interesting is its balance of availability and rising demand. Although millions were originally minted, many were removed from circulation when the decimal transition took place, while others were lost, damaged, or melted down over time. The examples that survive today in circulated condition are still collected enthusiastically because they represent the final years of a historic denomination. Collectors appreciate them as gateway pieces into the world of British numismatics, and their affordability means they attract strong interest from beginners while still being valued by experienced collectors who want complete date runs. As for current market value, even a circulated 1964 sixpence can fetch a modest but encouraging price in today's collector market, especially in regions where British pre-decimal coins remain popular. On today's market, circulated examples typically sell in the range of a few dollars, often around $4,500 to $5,000 depending on where, appeal, and demand at the moment. Although not a high-value rarity, the consistency of sales and the steady interest from collectors worldwide keeps the market strong for this particular year. What collectors truly value is not only the monetary return but the historical weight the coin carries from a pivotal period in British currency. Anyone interested in collecting these coins should approach them with an eye for detail and a sense of appreciation for their heritage. Even circulated examples can vary significantly in quality, so looking for coins with clear lettering, a visible portrait, and minimal corrosion can make a difference in desirability later on. Storing them properly, avoiding harsh cleaning, and building a well-organized collection of pre-decimal denominations can greatly enhance the enjoyment of collecting and may increase long-term value. Because these coins remain in demand, there is no shortage of opportunities to find them at fairs, online marketplaces, or specialist dealers. Bringing everything together, the 1964 UK sixpence stands as a charming reminder of Britain's numismatic past, carrying with it cultural traditions, national symbolism, and deep historical significance. Even in circulated condition, it continues to attract collectors because of its elegant design, its place in Queen Elizabeth II's early reign, and its connection to the final years of the sixpence denomination. Its value may be modest today, but its meaning far exceeds its price, making it a delightful and rewarding addition to any collection. As interest in pre-decimal coins continues to grow, pieces like the 1964 sixpence will always occupy a special place in the hearts of those who understand and appreciate the story they tell. At number 2, the 1994 one penny featuring the famous crowned chain portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Despite its simple appearance and the fact that millions pass through everyday hands, this particular coin has begun to attract renewed interest, especially when found in authentic circulated condition, even if the piece you hold is marked, discolored, or worn from years of use. There is something genuinely appealing about a coin that comes to us not pristine from a sealed bag, but aged with the story of countless pockets, purses, and tills. This sense of genuine circulation gives it a charm that resonates deeply with collectors who value originality and untouched history. To appreciate the significance of the 1994 one penny, it helps to reflect on the period in which it was minted. Britain in the early 90s was transitioning into a new era, modernizing yet still deeply connected to the traditions that shaped the nation. The penny, although small and modest, remained a staple of daily commerce and represented continuity from the older pre-decimal world. The portrait used on the obverse during this period, often referred to as the chain or crowned portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, is one of the most recognizable depictions of the late monarch. Designed by Raphael Maklauf, it presents the Queen wearing the royal diadem, capturing an elegant and youthful appearance that became symbolic of the era. On the reverse, the familiar crowned portcullis design, a traditional emblem of the British Parliament, reinforces the cultural authority behind this tiny copper-plated coin. Holding the 1994 penny, even in dirty or heavily used condition, provides a small but meaningful connection to British everyday life. Every scratch, every darkened corner, and every stain is a reminder that this coin passed through real transactions, touched real lives, and silently witnessed a moment in time. Beyond its practical purpose, the coin carries with it a cultural identity, a reflection of the monarchy, the parliamentary system, and decades of British commerce. It is light in weight, approximately 3.56 grams, but its historical presence feels much heavier when viewed from a collector's perspective. When you look closely at the features of this coin, you see more than a simple design. The sharpness of the crown, the elegance of the Queen's profile, and the robust detailing of the portcullis all reveal how carefully crafted modern British coinage truly is. Even in a dirty or worn state, these details often remain clear enough to give the coin its character. Many collectors specifically seek coins like this because circulation marks prove that the coin is genuine, original, and untouched by artificial cleaning. Authentic wear can sometimes be more desirable than artificial shine, especially when the coin retains a strong overall appearance beneath the dirt. In terms of rarity, the 1994 penny is not considered extremely scarce in pristine mint condition, given the high production numbers of the decade. However, what makes circulated examples interesting today is the increasing collector demand for older decimal coins carrying the Maklauf portrait. The rise in popularity of British coin collecting on social media has pushed many people to revisit coins from the 90s, and pieces in original circulated form are now sought after simply because they represent a time that is disappearing rapidly into the past. As these coins gradually leave circulation, demand increases, and even examples with heavy wear or dirty surfaces can fetch a modest but positive return for those who understand their niche market. When we consider current values, a typical circulated 1994 one penny in the kind of dirty condition many people find in drawers, jars, or old money boxes can sell in today's online marketplace for around $350 to $400 US, depending on the severity of the wear and the interest from buyers seeking particular years. While the value is modest, the real appeal lies in the growing market trend. Collectors are snapping up older decimal coins year after year, and the popularity of the Maclauf portrait ensures that these coins maintain steady demand. It is a small but encouraging market, ideal for beginners and long-time collectors alike. For anyone interested in building a meaningful collection, the key is to embrace originality. Avoid cleaning the coin, as its natural state adds authenticity and historical charm. Store it carefully to prevent further damage, and consider grouping it with pennies from other years of the same portrait series. Collectors love well-curated sets, and a 1994 piece, especially one with an attractive circulated patina, can slot beautifully into a themed display of Queen Elizabeth II's mid-reign coin designs. Keeping an eye on online marketplaces and numismatic communities will help you stay ahead of rising trends, as decimal coin collecting continues to grow across the UK and beyond. As we wrap up this exploration, the 1994 one penny proves that even the smallest and most common coin can hold strong historical appeal and a surprising level of collector value. Its cultural significance, its connection to a bygone era, and its sturdy yet elegant design make it far more than just loose change. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone who's just rediscovered an old penny tucked away in a forgotten drawer, this coin offers a delightful reminder that treasures do not always need to be rare or expensive. Sometimes, the real value lies in the story, the history, and the simple charm of a well-traveled piece of British currency. At number 3, the 1982 United Kingdom 20p coin is one that continues to fascinate collectors across the world, especially when the coin is found in an aged, heavily weathered, or extremely rusty condition. In today's video, we take a deep dive into the true character of this early-issue 20p, exploring how its origins, design, cultural value, and present-day demand have created a surprising level of attention in the modern numismatic market. Even a coin that looks worn, stained, or corroded can carry a tale far more valuable than its humble face value, and the 1982 piece is a perfect example of that charm. When this coin first emerged, it marked a significant moment for the United Kingdom's decimal coinage system. The 20p denomination had only just been introduced in 1982, making the first-year issue particularly memorable. This was a time when the UK was continuing its transition from its pre-decimal history into the sleek modern system used today. Every early example of the 20p coin reflects that cultural shift. Although minted in large numbers, these first-year pieces occupy an important place in the timeline of British currency, and for collectors, that connection to a distinct monetary evolution gives the 1982 coin a deeper sense of identity and importance. The obverse of this coin features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II created by Arnold Machin, a design that had already become widely recognizable across the Commonwealth. Despite the rusty or discolored condition of many circulated examples, that elegant profile still represents decades of British heritage. The reverse carries the distinctive crowned Tudor rose framed within a seven-sided shape, a design created by the talented William Gardner. Even when corrosion has crept into the metal, the shapes, outlines, and artistry often survive more than expected, reminding collectors how remarkably durable the engraving style of this era truly was. Beyond the imagery, this coin also holds significance through its cultural and historical connections. The early 1980s in Britain were marked by social change, economic transformation, and a shift towards modernization in multiple areas of public life. Currency acts as a snapshot of its time, and for many enthusiasts, owning an original 1982 20p in any state allows them to hold a physical reminder of that transformative period. It is a coin that appeals not simply for its monetary role, but for its role as a small, everyday witness of British life during that era. The technical structure of the coin also plays a part in its appeal. The 1982 20p is struck in a cupronickel alloy, giving it a standard weight of around 5 grams and a seven-sided heptagonal shape that instantly distinguishes it from other denominations. Even when rust or atmospheric corrosion affects the outer surface, the core metal remains strong enough to preserve the coin's overall form. This resilience adds to the sense of longevity and authenticity that collectors appreciate when examining coins that have clearly traveled far and aged visibly. There are several interesting details about this coin that contribute to its increasing desirability. Being the inaugural year of its denomination instantly makes the 1982 20p more attractive than later, more common dates. Many collectors prefer to include first-year issues in their sets because they symbolize the beginning of an important chapter. In addition, the number of surviving pieces in attractive condition is lower than originally expected. While heavily circulated or rusty examples are more common, many of the higher-grade ones have already been absorbed into private collections. This creates a ripple effect, making even rough-condition coins more appealing to those who simply want a representative example of the earliest 20 pence. Although a rusty coin will not reach the same height as a professionally preserved one, the current market for early decimal pieces has shown a rising interest, especially among new collectors who are eager to build complete sets. Rust-covered or heavily oxidized 1982 20-pence coins tend to be valued modestly, with typical sales ranging from $5,000 to $6,000 depending on how severe the corrosion is. However, the growing awareness of early decimal coins as collectible pieces has opened up higher demand. It is becoming increasingly common to see buyers paying more simply because they want the first-year issue regardless of its flaws, meaning the value can occasionally reach the $10 range for coins that, although rusty, still display clear details and a readable date. For collectors, the key to making the most of a coin like this lies in recognizing its historical weight and keeping it preserved in the condition in which it is found. Restoring or over-cleaning rust-affected coins is usually discouraged, as it can remove their original surface and reduce their appeal. Instead, hobbyists often prefer keeping them safely stored, dry, and protected from further corrosion. Those who seek out the 1982 20 pence as part of a broader collection of first-year decimal issues often find that even the rougher pieces fit beautifully into their display, completing a timeline of the currency's development. Anyone interested in building a long-term collection would benefit from securing early decimal coinage now, while prices remain within an accessible range and availability is still relatively wide. In bringing this discussion to a close, the 1982 20-pence coin stands out as a surprisingly sought-after piece of British numismatic history. Even when found in a very rusty or oxidized condition, it tells a meaningful story of the nation's shift into modern coinage and carries a charm that collectors continue to appreciate. Its connection to the first year of issue, its distinctive artwork, its cultural relevance, and its continuing presence in the market all contribute to a growing interest among coin enthusiasts worldwide. Whether valued for its modest monetary worth or prized for its significance, it remains a coin that deserves recognition. For anyone searching through old jars, inherited boxes, or forgotten collections, finding a 1982 20 pence, even a heavily worn one, can still be an exciting and rewarding discovery. At number 4, the British 5-pence piece. Despite its modest size, the coin in very fine condition carries a charm and appeal that often surprises new collectors and continues to delight seasoned numismatists. Today, we explore this remarkable little coin from a fresh perspective, diving into its story, its design features, its cultural weight, and why collectors around the world are increasingly recognizing its worth in the modern market. The origins of the 5-pence coin take us back to the period of decimalisation, a transformative moment in British currency history. It replaced the older shilling and helped steer the UK into a new, simplified monetary era. Over the years, the coin has undergone slight design updates and size reductions, yet it has always remained a familiar face in daily transactions. Its background reflects a broader journey of the country's economic and cultural development, making it far more than just a piece of metal in one's pocket. The detail that truly breathes life into the coin lies in its portrait and reverse imagery. On the obverse, collectors are treated to the regal representation of Queen Elizabeth II, a symbol of continuity, strength, and national identity. The reverse side, with the crowned thistle emblem, represents Scotland and embodies unity within the United Kingdom. Together, these two sides form a visual narrative of the nation's heritage, a balance between monarchy and cultural symbolism. In very fine condition, these details stand out with crisp lines and striking clarity, which instantly elevates the coin's desirability. Beyond design alone, the cultural and historical context of the 5-pence coin is what amplifies its intrigue. It has passed through countless hands, witnessed decades of national change, and participated silently in the lives of millions. It captures the essence of everyday Britain while simultaneously carrying echoes of its past. For many collectors, holding such a coin feels like holding a small but meaningful slice of national memory, making it increasingly valued in global numismatic circles. The standard weight of the modern 5-pence coin, made primarily from cupronickel and later nickel-plated steel depending on year, contributes to its distinct feel. It is light yet sturdy, engineered to survive the harsh wear of circulation. In very fine condition, the coin retains much of its original sharpness, with minimal surface marks, strong relief features, and a natural luster that suggests only modest wear. This condition level often acts as a middle ground between circulated charm and near-mint collectability, making it particularly attractive to buyers. Collectors are often drawn to key characteristics such as year of minting, portrait variations, metal composition changes, and the overall preservation state. A 5p coin in very fine grade stands out because it suggests that the coin has survived decades without suffering the heavy damage so commonly seen in everyday circulation. This level of care and survival plays a significant role in market interest, especially among collectors seeking high-quality examples without the premium price tag of uncirculated pieces. While the 5p coin is not the rarest British denomination, examples in superior condition do spark competition in the global collector community. Coins that maintain strong details and clear features generally attract more attention, particularly in regions where British currency holds nostalgic or historical appeal. As a result, the demand for well-preserved pieces has steadily risen, placing even ordinary year 5p coins into the conversation for collectors who seek striking condition over rarity alone. In today's numismatic marketplace, a standard 5p coin in very fine condition may be valued anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on the specific year, portrait style, and overall eye appeal. Certain years with lower production, unusual minting quirks, or sought-after portraits can fetch higher prices among international buyers. While the value may appear modest at first glance, the growing trend of collectors focusing on condition-based collecting means that interest is continuing to increase, making these miniature coins promising long-term hold pieces. For collectors eager to enhance their collections, a few practices make a remarkable difference. Proper storage in non-PVC holders, minimal handling, and keeping the coin away from moisture will help preserve its fine detailing. Studying portrait transitions, minting variations, and historical context can also deepen appreciation and increase one's ability to spot undervalued gems. The key is patience, attention, and a willingness to consider that even the smallest denominations can become valuable when preserved with care. Bringing all of this together, the 5p coin in very fine condition stands as a testament to British heritage, thoughtful design, and quiet numismatic charm. Though small, it carries a story far larger than its size suggests. With rising interest among collectors and a steadily strengthening market presence, these coins continue to gain recognition both in the UK and abroad. Whether you are a beginner exploring the world of coin collecting or an experienced numismatist searching for worthy additions, the British 5p coin offers a journey filled with history, beauty, and promising potential. At number 5, the United Kingdom 10p coin of 1992 displaying what many refer to as a double-shaded appearance. This unusual visual effect has attracted the curiosity of both seasoned numismatists and beginners who enjoy discovering something out of the ordinary in their pocket change. As the coin market continues to shift with every new rarity or error that comes to light, this particular 10p example has begun gaining attention for all the right reasons, and it's time to explore why it might hold more value than most people expect. To truly appreciate this distinctive coin, it helps to understand its origins. The 10p piece has been part of the UK decimal system since 1968, but over the decades its size, composition, and overall appearance have gradually evolved. What remains constant is its iconic design, featuring the reigning monarch on the obverse and a symbol of national identity on the reverse. The coin in question, however, stands out due to its unusual shading effect, believed by collectors to stem from a minting irregularity, a striking anomaly, or a layering inconsistency from its production stage. Such blemishes or misalignments occasionally slip through the minting process, and when they do, they transform an everyday coin into something far more intriguing. Visually, the coin offers much to examine. On the head side, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is typically crisp and finely detailed, but the double-shaded look makes the image appear slightly layered or faintly doubled, giving a sense of depth not usually present. On the tail side, the design representing British heritage also experiences this subtle duplicate shadowing, producing an effect that appears almost like a second outline behind the main artwork. This visual oddity is what catches a trained eye and leads collectors to question whether the coin is a genuine mint error, an attribute that almost always boosts desirability and potential value. Beyond its physical presentation, the coin carries a cultural weight shared by all modern British currency. The 10p coin is recognized for symbolizing everyday British life, from small transactions to traditional savings jars and nostalgic memories of arcades and vending machines. When an ordinary coin features an extraordinary flaw, it becomes a piece of cultural history, capturing a moment where standard minting processes briefly slipped from uniformity. For collectors, this combination of relatability and uniqueness is what makes error coins so compelling. The weight of the coin also plays a role in its identification. Modern 10-pence pieces are struck in nickel-plated steel and weigh approximately 6.5 grams. When assessing your coin, the correct weight confirms it is genuine and not modified after leaving the mint. A legitimate error coin should maintain all standard specifications except for the irregularity caused during production, making the double-shaded look even more significant when the coin aligns with all other typical mint standards. There are several important aspects that elevate this coin's appeal. Collectors often look for features like missed truck details, shadowed images, doubled outlines, or unusual plating patches. The fact that such characteristics are rarely found in circulation increases the curiosity around a specimen like this. Its condition also has a strong influence on how valuable it may become. Even if it has seen some hands over time, the presence of a clear double-shaded effect can make the coin substantially more desirable, especially to those who specialize in mint errors or oddities. Rarity is ultimately what drives demand, and coins that display an uncommon shade effect or duplication do not appear in large quantities. When a coin stands out from the masses due to an unexpected flaw, collectors naturally gravitate toward it. The condition of the coin amplifies this further. A clearer, more visible shading pattern typically results in a higher level of interest and stronger offers from buyers. As people increasingly search through their change hoping to uncover something special, coins like this become a focal point of discussion and competition. With interest rising, today's market value for a double-shaded 10-pence coin can vary widely based on clarity, condition, and the strength of the error. Some examples have been observed selling for amounts between $2,000 to $2,500, while more dramatic shading effects have drawn even stronger offers from enthusiastic collectors. Because error coins don't follow standard pricing and often depend on how striking the visual irregularity appears, the value can jump quickly when buyers believe they are seeing a rare minting anomaly. For anyone hoping to collect, preserve, or potentially sell a coin like this, it's always wise to examine it under good lighting, avoid cleaning it, and store it safely in a clear protective sleeve. Collectors appreciate original surfaces and untouched patina, especially when dealing with error coins. Seeking the opinion of a reputable numismatic group or online community can also help verify your piece and guide you towards the best-selling platforms. The stronger the confirmation of the error, the more attention your coin is likely to receive in the market. As we wrap up, this double-shaded 10-pence coin represents yet another reminder that extraordinary finds can come from the most ordinary places. A simple piece of loose change, when carrying an unexpected rarity, can transform into a highly sought-after collector's item with genuine market potential. Whether you are an experienced collector or simply someone who enjoys discovering hidden gems, this coin is a perfect example of why keeping an eye on your currency can pay off. With rising interest in rare British coins and error pieces becoming increasingly popular, it's never been a better time to explore what's in your pocket and see if you might be holding something special.